Okay, when we left off, we had a few little corners right here that we wanted to get rid of. And so I'm going to show you how to do that. So that is a contour. So I'm going to come up here to contour. I am going to select what I want to contour, which is this. Now, even though it's a contour, I don't care what way the arrow goes. I just care that it's green. Because I'm actually going to turn the computer off and run the tool right along the edge, and that's going to clean this up. So I'm done. Okay, it's just lagging, I guess. So I'm going to go back and close that. Let's keep this operation. Okay, try it one more time. I don't know what happened there. It's just kind of lagging. So I will try that again. So again, I'm going to go to contour. I'm on chain. I'm going to select it. Apparently it's there. Good. And then I'm going to go to tool. Now I'm actually going to delete this to show you where I got it from, because it's here right now because I already loaded it. So I'm just going to get rid of it. I think I can just delete it. Yep. Okay. So I'm going to grab the right tool, which is the 1/4 inch tool. There it is. I'm going to change the speed to 59. And then 10 and 60. I'm going to write a little note in here. I'm going to go down here to cut parameters, and this is where I'm going to turn the computer off, because we're actually trying to run the tool down the middle, which is kind of like engraving, but with a milling tool. And the depth, I'm going to check. It should be down 0.125. So it's the same level as this pocket I just did. So select, and I am ready to go. So that's good stuff. I'm going to fix this one because I know that I did not have the right speed for the tool. Haha, you thought I didn't catch that, but I did. So of course that's the 1/4 inch tool, so I should have used 59 and 10 and 60 and blah 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 blah. Again, pretty good idea to have it, but I'm not wasting my time on it for a lesson. So checkbox, and I'm going to select all and regenerate the path, and then select all and verify. And I'm just going to play it. I'm not going to go isometric because my computer was shut down, but you can see that I got rid of these little guys in the corner. So. All right, the next step is that I want to mill the insides of these guys, right? The A and the R. So those are just pockets. So I'm just going to go to pocket, which is here. And make sure chain's on, and then touch this guy. Remember, I don't care about the direction of the arrows for a pocket. So I have these two pockets. They're small. I'm going to use the 3/16 tool. So checkbox, and the tool is 3/16. And remember, 3/16 is the smallest tool you're allowed to pocket with. And then you never use it to clean up, so you never contour with this tool, just pocket. And then we will clean up the inside of those two areas with the 1/8 inch tool. So, all right, so here we have a feed rate. So again, this is 60, 59, 58. So 58. And again, I emphasize that these speeds are because later we want to be able to quickly change them to the correct speeds for wood. So they have to be different so that we can select them all and change them all at one time in Notepad or. Okay, so that is the correct tool. These are the correct speeds. Again, blah, blah, blah. And then I'm going to come here and just check and make sure. I believe everything's already set here anyway, so we've already used it a bunch of times. So I'm just going to put in the depth. So in this case, this is down 1/4 inch. So. All right, there I go, checkbox. And don't forget to put a minus sign in front of all these or you're not going to get anywhere. So checkbox. And again, we'll just check and make sure. So select all, regen the path, select all, and we'll verify. And again, I'm not going to go isometric because, again, it'll shut me down. All right, good. I've got the inside of the R, but you can actually see that there are some little corners in here that are rounded. So I'm going to get rid of those I'm going to make them smaller, but I'm not going to get rid of them by contouring with the 1/8 inch tool. I don't like these lines. Remember, we can get rid of those, right? Remember, this will put them all on, and then this will turn them all off. Those are just the tool path lines, the center of the tool going all over the place. All right, so I'm going to do a new guy, which is contouring, because I'm cleaning up the inside of the letters. On chain again. This time I have to think about it. I want to go on the inside of this A. So I'm going to do a contour, and I'm going to make sure that it's counterclockwise. So I'm going to select, there's the center of the line, this end, counterclockwise, and again, center of the line, this end, counterclockwise. So I know that the tool is going on the inside here, and it's going to be the 1/8 inch tool to clean it up. Checkbox. Tool is 1/8 inch. And again, I'm going to remember 60, 59, 58, 57 is the speed. So 57, and then 10, and 60. And blah, blah, blah. And that looks pretty darn good. So I'm going to go to cut parameters. Now, remember, I just turned it off to do that outline around here to clean up the corners. So I need to turn the computer back on, otherwise it won't be in the right spot. Everything else is good. Just need to go to linking parameters to put the depth in, and that's the inside of the letters, so that's minus 0.25. So good stuff. Checkbox. Remember, all this information you'd be getting from your sketches, right? Because you would already have all of this written down after you figured out what all your layers are going to be at and where you're going to mill them to the depth you're going to mill them. Okay, let's check and see if we clean that up. Select all, regen the path, and then select all and verify. And again, just going to play it. And you can see that I've cleaned up the corners, to as much as I can with the tool that I have. Which is, again, why you don't want too much fine detail, because you can't make things perfect, because these tools all have diameters. So, all right, closing that down. All right, now I'm going to zoom in here, and I'm going to engrave. So this engraving's on the surface of this layer. So I'm going to go down minus 0.03, and that's because this part of the star is the surface of the plaque. And you want to go down 0.03 in depth to whatever layer you're going to be engraving at. So for instance, if I was engraving on this layer right here, which is down at minus 0.125, I would engrave at minus 0.155 in order to engrave that. And I would have to be careful, because I wouldn't want to get too close to this line here with the engraving, because if I get too close to this line, I'm going to gouge this out. Like, I'll put a big gouge right here in the side of the star with the engraving tool. So if you're going to engrave in areas that are below other areas up to that edge, you need to make sure that you trim your line off at least the distance that's the difference between the two heights. So in other words, if I was going to engrave in this area right here, I would have to stay 0.125 inches away from this edge with my engraving line. And the same down here doesn't matter. I can go right to the edge down here because this area is below this area here. So I hope that makes some sense. It's kind of important for engraving. So, okay, there's my engraving that I want to do. So I need to first of all do a contour. So contouring. And then I'm not picking a chain this time. I'm going to put a box around what I want to engrave. So click. And then I just surround what I want to engrave. I make sure only what I want to engrave is in the box. And I'm clicking as I move around. And then it just says enter to end the polygon. See right here. So I'm just going to hit enter. And then it's asking me, where do I want to start the engraving? So I have to pick a spot to start. So I'm going to pick there. So there's all the engraving. Don't worry about all the crazy arrows and the colors, because engraving doesn't matter what tool direction you see. So as long as they're all inside the box. So I'm going to select that. And then the tool, we're going to go get it, because you see it's not in here. These are end mills. So I'm going to select tool from the library. just waiting for it. Now, it's automatically realized that I want to do some engraving, so I'm actually going to show you where it is before that. So I'm going to turn the filter off. I'm going to turn them all off. So they would have looked probably like this, because these are the only tools that are currently working with, right? The end mills that you got from your first list. So then I would just turn that off, the end mills, and then I would come down to the engraving tool, which I believe is right here. So I select that and checkbox it. And these are all of the engraving tools. And you're going to use engraving tool 425, which is right here. And you're going to checkbox it. So there's our engraving tool, and it is tool number 5, the 5th one we put in, as it is at school. And now we just need to put in our depth, which is, oh, sorry, I apologize, cut parameters first, because remember, I want to turn the computer off so it goes right down the center of these lines. So I'm going to turn the computer off. And then I'm going to come down here to linking parameters. And as I told you, I'm going to go minus 0.03 deeper than the layer I'm on. So in this case, this is the surface of the star. So I'm going minus 0.03 deeper than the surface of the star. So I'm going to checkbox that. And now I'm going to check and make sure. So select all, and regen all, and select all, and verify. And play this, and the star is engraved. So there you go. You can kind of see the edge of it right here. So, and again, I would go isometric, and you could probably go isometric at home, but my graphics card is old and it won't take it. So I'm going to close that down. And I am done. So I hope that makes sense. You can watch the 3rd video now, and that will show you how to drill your holes, because I don't think I have enough time to actually finish that. So, all right, hope that helps.